The main roadblock hindering a man's journey to success and happiness is the junk cluttering up his head and heart. The higher powers in the society, they want folks broken and clueless, but I'm about to expose who they are who are pulling the strings from behind the scene. Are you prepared to learn who the real enemy is? The choice is yours if you want to scream conspiracy and loft away to a life you don't control. For the rest of you here, I'll tell you your real opposition. It's those who come around every 4 years trying to get your vote. That too, the only pseudo-power you are granted, to keep the simple-minded satisfied. Yes, your enemy, who wants to keep you dumb, unaware, and broke, is your government, along with their heavy hitters like pharmaceutical giants, food moguls, and the military. They work in close proximity to make sure they extract the most out of you. They tax the money you make, then the money you spend. Most of the food you have access to is highly processed, saving them more on their end. When your health deteriorates eventually, you have no other option but to give thousands upon thousands to the pharma giants. It's an elaborate plot. The politicians, they're nothing but puppets who entertain the public for these corporate masters, making sure us, the regular man, stays in the dark, financially challenged, and constantly leaning on them. It's a common tactic you'll notice in foreign policy all throughout the world. In the modern world, you don't have the liberty to invade and conquer nations, but that hasn't stopped it from happening though. You heard that right. The same acts are happening today under a different mask. You outwardly make it seem like you're trying to help a weak nation, or men as what our topic is, bury them in debt, and then enjoy their unwavering loyalty. The powerful hand, or the government, they're happy as long as they have you in their grip. Now, let's talk about what it is that you and I truly want in this hellish scenario, and that's a way to get free from these shackles. Society is a great thing, but being a slave within society isn't a human experience. It's like being in a concrete mental prison, one you can never find a way out of. A human without freedom isn't a human. He's just an animal known as the Homo sapien. With everything they plot, our purpose is to break free, exactly the opposite of what these governments want for us. How do we do that, you're asking? The answer is simple. Financial independence, true purpose, which hasn't been ingrained in us by Fox News, and honing our autonomy to its peak, the way it's supposed to be. The very first aspect of it, money, is absolutely crucial. There is no freedom without money, because money opens up doors. Without it, it's like being locked out in a hotel corridor. There's no life to live. When you're on your journey to becoming a real independent man, it's not going to be easy. I'll warn you. There are those out there who profit from you being a sheep. They make wagers on the fact that you'll be content in the dark. Don't take my word for it. Just observe the world around you. Isn't it clear that everything we are entitled to today is merely a distraction? An example you'll be familiar with: during ancient Rome, whenever the powers wanted to distract the common man, they'd set up events in the Colosseum to distract the masses. As if the masses are some cattle who you're sending off to graze while you make the decisions which impact their lives. Those content with this societal structure are pathetic, measly sheeps. If you're too distracted to take a stand, only worrying about the Super Bowl and NBA, trust me, your real opposition is as happy as they can be. Their entire goal is to keep you broke, sad, hooked to meaningless activities, scared and easy to control. No need to wonder how they even possess such power. I'll fill you in. The tactic they use is very simple but very effective. You might have guessed it already. It's fear. When fear is utilized right, you keep the masses at hand. Just like how a shepherd whips his cattle to guide where they walk, they do the same thing in a different format with humans. The government uses mainstream media and social media to keep the common folk in a perpetual state of worry. It's always the next viral outbreak, the new war, the economic forecast that you must always have looming over your head. Meanwhile, distractions like movies, television shows, video games, music, sports, and politics continue doing a number on people's focus. It's a great method of keeping them away from chasing financial freedom, purpose, and self-mastery. All one needs is one glance at the youth today and see the entire game plan in action. Most teens today are nothing but pawns behind their favorite celebrities. The most important bit for one to realize is that they want you to stay broke. Like I said before anything else, Money is the key to freedom. Now, your opposition's goal is to snatch it away from you somehow, and their lethal secret weapon is consumerism, making impressionable people believe they need things they don't need to impress people they don't even like. You'll see the signs everywhere today. People buy cars and houses with money they don't have. What's even incredible is that they're not ever taught how to actually handle money properly. Something that essential, you'd expect to see it in schools or colleges, but not at all. Financial ignorance is how they maintain their power, keeping people reliant and light years away from personal growth. But guess what? We're not in the 1900s anymore, where we have no other option but to be brainwashed. The opposition has tactics via social media to still keep 99% of the population in its hold. But we're that 1% they can't. We're not going to remain stuck in this rigged game. It's time to reclaim our power, our natural dominance. And that happens when you start making savvy choices and solid moves on the board. Building a life structure is step one. Turn off all those pesky notifications which regularly deter you from your tracks. Take initiative to grab the steering wheel of your life and take charge of where your time goes. The reason it's so crucial is because you can only get the big things right if you get the small ones right first. When you're constantly draining 5 to 15 minutes whenever a notification hits your phone, know that it's going to add up significantly. So the very first thing to do is to take full control of your day. Discipline, the kryptonite of those who want you in their control, is not just a fancy word to throw around lightly. It's harsh commitment. Discipline is having control over yourself, which if you don't, they'll have control over you. You'll notice it all the time with motivation that it's only a temporary answer. You need discipline to make any real wave in the real world. Lastly, it's the decisions you make and the actions you take which determine whether you're cruising towards freedom or prosperity or stuck in a rut. You make the choice between getting a Netflix subscription or investing in yourself by purchasing books to spend time on, or whether you stop at McDonald's since cooking is too hard and you're too tired. It might seem difficult at times, but never forget, you've got the power to flip the script. They're going to keep trying to throw fear, distractions, addictions, and peer pressure to keep brainwashing you, but it won't work. My brothers, it's time to break free. We're not going to be victims of somebody else's action. We're going to choose our lives ourselves. Stick with the message in today's video, and I'll see you at the top. Thank you for tuning in. Stay blessed.